Welcome to my garden! Hi everyone! I thought it would be a great time to introduce the garden. It's April and we have so many blooms to show you. This is my garden. I'm so happy to share it with you. It's rented and we've lived here for a little over a year and a half, and a lot of the structure that you see was already there, but we've been able to do a lot. So why don't we start with this cute little iron age shelf. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably have spotted this already. I had it full of beautiful hyacinths and daffodils. Now it's in a bit of a transitioning for summer. I already planted up some begonias and we still have a couple of hyacinth blooms that look really good. And then on that fence that gets full sun for most of the day, we have a plant called Clematis Armandii. I think here we still have a couple of blooms that look good, but I'll flash pictures on the screen. It bloomed beautifully and profusely for weeks. It's a really early bloomer, so it was really nice to have this early color in the garden, but it's a beast. Like you can tell, we just cut it back and it's already spurting a lot of new growth, so if you plant this in your garden, make sure you keep it in check. Here we have our first little grouping of pots. So those tulips are called Lasting Love. They're really beautiful triumph tulip and it's a reddish pink, absolutely beautiful. Then at the back here I have a little fruit tree. This is an apple tree and it's a dwarf one. It's grafted on a M9 rootstock, which means it's going to stay really small, so that's perfect for a small garden. I got it last year, so maybe this year will be the first year I get some fruits if there's another apple tree nearby, because it does need another tree to be pollinated. We'll see. And then at the front here you can spot one of my 3 new additions to the garden. Those are David Austin roses. This is Wildeve, a beautiful bush rose with pink blooms, absolutely beautiful, and it's growing on really well. So if you've missed the video, I'll link it down below, you may be interested. Here we have a peony also that's starting to grow really beautifully, and a couple of pots with hellebores that are now done for the season. This is the sunflower bed. It gets sun for a good portion of the day, so this is where I have roses and plants typically that like to be in full sun. Here I have a crop of tulips. Some of them don't come back year on year, so I had to replant them. And at the front here some hyacinths. I had some pink ones, but they're already done blooming and we just have those beautiful white blooms that are left with us. Do have a rose in that corner over there. It's a white bush rose and it flowers really for a really long portion of the season. Last year I had blooms in November. It's incredible. But I added tulips last year when we moved in, and this year too, so it's a bit of a menagerie of colors. Like this beautiful white tulip here. I just love that color. Look at that. There's like a creamy yellow and then some beautiful white with a couple of specimens. Really pretty. This one was the first tulip to bloom for me. It's called Ollioules and it starts with a really beautiful pale pink and ages to that deeper color. Really pretty, and those have been blooming since early March, so no, not early March, since mid-March I think, so a good couple of weeks. Other tulips that came up okay in that bed are Akebono, this beautiful yellow tulip with a very slight rim of red. It's really beautiful. We have Tulip Foxtrot, and similar to Ollioules, it starts with pale colors and then ages to a deeper color. Like this is cotton candy looking to me. It's really beautiful. Maybe you can spot here at the back that we've added some trellis. The fence was in a really poor condition, so we decided to add this structure and we're going to grow sweet peas on it. So watch out for that video. This is a beautiful lavender bush. It's actually a white lavender, so it's absolutely striking. It was here when we moved in. It smells amazing. And behind it we have some very chic tulips, new addition this year. And here some cute garden stakes that I'll use to stake some dahlias. That hole here that you may have spotted in the flower bed has dahlias already planted, and I need to top dress that with some salads that are ready to be planted, so I need to get around to doing that. Alright, here we have another beautiful cluster of pots. We have a camellia, a repeat of the Lasting Love tulips. Look at those. Absolute beauties. They came up beautifully. Then we have a couple of other types of tulips here. We're still waiting. Those are a bit later tulips. This is lambada, and apricot fox, so a mix. Those are a bit later flowering, so we're going to have a prolonged show. Just behind, these are called World's Favorite. And I really love that red orange. It's very new for me. I usually go for paler colors, as you can tell from the first bed we saw, but I thought we'd kick things up a bit and go for another color scheme. Where do we go next? And I thought I'll give you a little peek into my cold frame. So this was one of the first additions we made to the garden because I needed somewhere to grow all my seedlings. That was not the living room. So we got this and painted...
Not the living room. Good idea.
So we painted it a beautiful color. I think it's called Wild Thyme, and it's the same color as the shed, so that complements it really well. Yesterday I just popped out this flat of sweet peas, and I also have some snapdragons just to harden them off because, as I mentioned, we're getting ready to plant a wall of sweet peas just behind the tulip bed. Alright. So here I have a couple of salads that I sowed in a video back in January, so these are really ready to go, and I'm probably going to pop a few where I just showed you in the dahlia bed. Then I have some radishes. Look, some of them are getting close to ready. Those are long radishes de 18 jours, and those are rounded radishes. Then I have a row of spinach and a row of pak choi, which will probably have to go at the allotment. Let me show you. Those are little grow bags. They're supposed to be compostable, and I'm trying them out now, so I'll do probably another full review of those and how they're going, but so far looks like they're doing something good. I have a couple of tomato plants that we bought already grown on just to get a head start for the season, and a little bit more salad seedlings. So then look at how much room this gets me. I have the second and third shelf. Over here I have a couple of seedlings of alyssum which popped up, and larkspur, just 4 cells that came up, so I'll see if I manage to grow them on. Here I have some broccoli that hasn't sprouted yet, a begonia, and more begonias for the shaded area, another tomato seedling. And then on the last level I have some dahlias that I'm trying to start from seed, so I just potted up some tubers, but you can also start dahlias from seed, so I'm trying that this year too. And some nasturtiums, and then some leeks, and what is this? I can't remember. Some Swiss chard, again for the allotment, but nothing has sprouted yet. So this is the baby blue spruce that I got to have a real Christmas tree. We have an artificial one for indoors, but I wanted a little touch of Christmas outside, and I had it here on display where you just saw the tulips with some hellebores. It was really cute, a really cute winter vignette. Then we have a rhubarb that needs to go in a much bigger pot, so I need to get on to that. Then here we added this cute hanging basket under the window just to fill up the space a little bit, and in the winter I had some violas and cyclamen, and I've just replaced that with some geraniums. What else do we have here? A lilac. I love lilacs, and it's my dream to have a garden with lots of them, like really big with lots of blooms. I think we're going to get some blooms this year. It's a variety called Charles Joy, and it has a beautiful pink bloom. I haven't seen it yet in the garden, so I'm really excited. It grew really well, and I have to have a lot of things in spot here because we rent this space and we want to be ready to move away with all the plants, so I still get to grow trees, but they will want to go in the landscape pretty soon, so we'll see what happens. Here I had some muscari bloom. This was a beautiful show. I had 2 pots with muscari, one next to the cold frame and one over here, and at the center I had hydrangeas, limelights, but they completely fried over the summer when we went away on holidays, so there's no sign of life this year, absolutely nothing. Like it's dead wood, so I'll just lift them and replace it. That's an opportunity to get new plants. Then here a little bit of mint, smells delightful. Of thyme, some Akebono tulips that have not bloomed yet. We'll have blooms to enjoy for a little longer. Here you may recognize this cute little container from a video we just released on the channel where I planted up here some dahlias, and it's in the sister pot. This is its sister pot with some gladiolus in it. And I top dressed the soil with a couple of violas I had left from another project just to give us something to look at while the blooms kick off. And over here we have one more rose. This one is Roald Dahl, and it's also growing on really beautifully. We have strong new growth. Everything looks healthy. I did add some mulch and fertilize those a couple of weeks ago just to give them a good head start. Here we have some freesia whites, a new bulb addition for the summer, so we'll see how these do. And to my left we have another rose that hasn't started growing too much, but I think this is because it was the first one that I potted up and I didn't put enough fungi to help the roots grow, so we'll see. So it's just going to be a little bit slower growing, but I think it'll catch up when the temperatures warm up a bit. Behind us, the IKEA mattress recycle, one of the most epic projects so far on the channel, and the hellebores are still looking really good. And at the back, the clematis has grown tremendously. Can you see it on the obelisk? We're going to get some lovely blooms this summer. And how not to mention this glorious sofa.
I mean, it's not like it's raining, but yeah.
Is it raining? I don't know. We're in the UK here. We don't notice rain. You know, rain is normal. Here we've just reseeded the lawn. This was a bit of lawn that was not doing really well. We tried to reseed it once, but one half is full sunshine and the other gets a lot of shade because of that monstrosity of a Lonicera right there. But anyway, we just reseeded a meadow and it feels really good not to have that ugly tarp anymore. So there'll be a video on the channel very soon about that, or it's probably already out. I'm not sure. We use wildflower seeds of flowers native to the UK, so hopefully it's going to be a bee heaven here very soon. This here is the shade bed, the second bed that we have that is flanking the grass. And here we have another little pot full of tulips and its sister pot over here. So again, more blooms to look forward to. A couple of boxwoods and of course daffodil heaven. So we have a couple of varieties here. Minnow, the cute little wispy blooms. I have digitalis and a couple of heucheras here and some hostas that haven't started to pop up, but I'm hoping the slugs didn't feast on them all. And some bamboos as well. So those bamboos are actually a recycle from the neighboring garden. So we popped here 2 trellis to try to train a jasmine that was here when we moved in. It used to be absolutely huge and we had to cut it back when this fence was changed because it had, I mean, the fence was completely gone. We'll pop some pictures on the screen, and luckily our neighbors were able to replace it because this is their fence. And I think we can see some signs of life on the jasmine. We can see a lot of signs of new growth. So probably next year we'll get some more blooms and we'll try to keep it size control. Look at that. Beautiful. I need to prune that. This was also here when we moved in, and you can see here how it has like a bit of a bare bottom and a lot of blooms and growth at the top, and this is because this one's son. It's like the clematis. It's a Lonicera and it smells absolutely delightful, and this is full of bees, and it's one of the reasons why I'm keeping it quite big. It's because you can hear a buzzing sound here. Absolutely tremendous. But this is why you want to be careful when you put climbers, because you don't want that bare bottom. So I need to give it a good prune and try to keep it size control. I wasn't sure whether I was going to show you that, but this is the part of the garden where the magic happens. We have the repotting table where I do most of my videos and I show you lots of projects. Then we got that shelf from IKEA actually to store again some perennials that I'm trying to overwinter and lots of new things that are coming into bloom. I have my compost store and lots of dahlias everywhere. This is one of the good ideas maybe why you want to wait until temperatures are warm enough to plant your dahlias, so that you don't have to have plastic pots everywhere. Alright, it's starting to rain pretty heavily now. And I almost forgot to show you the front flower bed that is full with daffodils, tulips and beautiful miscarry blooms. I really love this color combination and this has been flowering for us for weeks. So I think I'll end the tour here. This is our cute little table. This is all we could fit here, but it's perfect for dining and eating al fresco. And we were so lucky that for Easter we could have our first lunch outdoors. So looking forward to many more. I hope this was inspiring to you to see my space. It's quite a small garden, but there's still a lot you can do, especially in pots when you're renting like me. And we'll give you progress updates as the season progresses. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time. Bye! Look at my little clogs. This is Slytherin, baby. I have all the Harry Potter socks.
I can confirm.
That you
Slytherin all the way through, huh?
I have all the Harry Potter socks ever. Primark, really awesome. Anyway.